be talking about the different processes and everything that we are doing in this AI engineering bootcamp. It should be a really, really exciting time. I'm really, really pumped to see where we can go with this, right? And so I'm really excited where this is all going to go. If you guys are interested in this AI engineering bootcamp, know that like we actually start classes tomorrow. So if you are still interested in joining, you can. It's not too late to join yet, right? You can still definitely join. So we're going to give people just like 1 or 2 minutes to kind of mosey on in here because I don't like to start right at the hour going into the presentation. But yeah, welcome everyone. It's going to be a really, really good time. I'm really excited for where all this is going to go. But yeah, we're going to be kicking off the AI engineering bootcamp. It's going to be going for the next 6 weeks. And it should be really, really exciting. We have a bunch of really awesome guest speakers lined up, and we're gonna have July be really strong. I feel like a lot of people use July to party. We're going to use July to grind, and it's going to be a really, really good opportunity here. So yeah, we'll start at 6:04. So in 2 minutes, we will actually start the presentation. But yeah, I want to see what people are saying right now. So we have Karia is saying nice, Vamshi, hello, and David, hola. Hey, how's it going, everyone? How's it going, Rosemary? Nice. I like the fires. I love the fires. So yeah, this should be really great. We're going to be building out all sorts of curricula here. There's 5 weeks, right? We're going to be talking about prompt engineering, RAG, advanced RAG, ML ops, MCP. Literally everything that you would want to learn about in AI engineering is going to be covered in the next 5 weeks. It's going to be really, really awesome. So like, this is definitely a bootcamp that you're not going to want to miss. But we're going to be starting here in about 1 minute with the presentation, right? How can I join the class tomorrow? Make sure you join the Discord. If you need to join the Discord, that's where we cover everything on Discord stage. Discord stage is where we actually do we do the curricula presentations. So you should have gotten an email. In your email, you can join Discord, and then Discord stage is where we're going to be doing all of the presentation and all that stuff. So should be pretty great. I'm really excited. Thank you everyone for joining and supporting me. This should be a really good time. Let me share my screen. I'll go back all the way to the front. Present. Okay. Awesome. There we go. Awesome. We're going to be starting here in about 1 minute so we can have everyone join here. So we're going to be doing the Data Expert July 7th AI Engineering Bootcamp Kickoff. This should be a really, really exciting journey. I'm really pumped. This is brand new. This is going to be brand new, and it's going to be amazing. Deba saying, can you share the link? Then we can join. So yeah, you just go to dataexpert.io, and that's where you can join, and you should have gotten an onboarding email. Will be recorded for each class or each session. Yes, everything's always recorded, obviously, because we have people in all sorts of different time zones. So anyways, let's go ahead and get this party rolling, y'all. So welcome. So one of the things, this is probably the most highly requested bootcamp my students have asked from me is, how can we get ahead in this AI world? How can we get ahead in this world where we are, everyone's talking about, Chat GPT and Cursor and all these different things that are just like changing how we do engineering and changing how we do data engineering and data science, and everything is just changing so quickly in this world. And like, this bootcamp is going to be my attempt to get you up to speed in everything that's going on so that you can be learning the skills of the future, so you can be prepared for the new roles that are coming up, roles like AI engineer, roles like machine learning engineer, as well as the new type of data engineering that's going to be coming about. It should be a really, really exciting journey. And yeah, let's dig into it. So welcome to an intense 5 weeks. You're going to learn a lot. So it's going to be a very, very intense 5 weeks. We have difficult homeworks. If you try to do all the homework and all the capstone projects and everything, then you will be working quite a bit, and you will learn a lot. That's how learning works, right? Is the more hours you put in, the better you get at it. And that's what we try to do here, is we try to optimize the time so that you can come out of this in a little bit more than a month and feel way more confident about the future and way more confident about what you can bring to the table to your company if you currently have a job, or in 5 weeks, you'll have an amazing capstone project that you can talk about to get a job. So depending on, so many different people come to me to learn for so many different reasons. And so usually those are going to be the two big ones. So This is actually the third part of a 15-week challenge. So we started this challenge back in April. In April, we did analytics engineering. In April to May was analytics engineering. May to June was data engineering, and now July to August is going to be AI engineering. And this will, at the end of August, this will be the longest boot camp I have ever delivered. This is a 15-week boot camp that a lot of y'all have been a part of and been really grinding and really building. And the people who have taken me up on this from April, there's about 40 of you who are committed and dedicated through all 15 weeks. And y'all are going to be probably the most prepared people in the entire planet to actually get through everything, because you have been working with me for months now. And it's really exciting. And I know some of y'all are going to have so many amazing projects and amazing things to share at the end of this. It's going to be really, really amazing. So I want to take a short break here to talk about Lulu. So Lulu has been my dog for the last 5 years. Lulu, she crossed the Rainbow Bridge about a week ago on July 1st. So Lulu is no longer with us. She was a very, very loving dog. She is the logo of the company. You can kind of see the progression here of Lulu logo. So Lulu was my dog that I had loved very, very dearly. I got her in June of 2020. And I had her for a little bit more than 5 years. And we had to let her go at the beginning of this month. And it was very, very sad, very, very sad. And she has been a big part of this company. She was they say, one day a dog will enter your life and change everything. And I definitely feel that way about Lulu. I definitely feel that like she has been a dramatically powerful force for this company, and just all the love that she gave is emanating. And my goal with this boot camp and with future boot camps is to carry on her spirit and carry on her energy, that energy of love and just all of that to my students, and to keep this energy rolling and carry her in my heart going forward. But I just wanted to have a little slide here just to honor this dog who's been a big part of this company. And hopefully y'all got to meet her. So the 15-week learning challenge, right, was we did 5 weeks of analytics engineering, 5 weeks of data engineering, and now we're on 5 weeks of AI engineering. This is the final 5-week sprint here that has been amazing. This has been the very, very first time I've tried to deliver this much content in this little amount of time, and it's been amazing. It's also been a lot, but it's definitely something that I've found very exciting. So what are we going to cover today in today's presentation? We're going to cover why you made a great decision joining this program. And if you haven't joined the program yet, you still have time. The program starts tomorrow. Tomorrow's the first day of classes. So I highly recommend joining if you haven't. And reach out to me if you want to get a discount code so you can get in. And then how to get the most out of this boot camp, because clearly not everyone gets the same value out of these boot camps. Some people get a lot of value, some people get very little value, and a lot of that comes back to you and what you do for yourself and how accountable you hold yourself. It's a very important part of this journey. I will do my best to hold you accountable, but then you also have to hold yourself accountable. And then we're going to talk about a lot about the curricula. This is where we're going to talk about the different things that we're going to cover. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the structure of the boot camp, how things kind of work. Then we're going to talk about the Capstone project. And then, finally, last but not least, the policies and structures. So why you make a great decision joining this boot camp? We take learning very seriously here. Like the growth that you will experience in the next 5 weeks will be similar to what you would experience like in 3 months in college. Like imagine going through a semester of college. That's what I try to create in a 5-week time frame, where it's we cover so much material and there's so much to cover here, and it's very powerful. A lot of my students say it reminds them of going back to college and doing all that stuff. I really try to recreate that kind of college-like experience, and we take learning very seriously. We are going to be doing a new thing. This is a new thing that I haven't tried yet, but we're actually going to be doing a book club understanding sessions. So since this field is so new, we want to like kind of lean on some of the wisdom of experts here. So there's a book called AI Engineering by Chip Huen, and we are going to be reading through some of the chapters of that book, and we will be doing some book club understanding sessions, so we can talk through more of the theory and what's going on there. So we can just like kind of go through like that, because I know books are one of the most powerful ways to do things. We're going to have also Q&A sessions with industry leaders throughout the boot camp. One of those industry leaders is Chip. So Chip is actually going to be one of the industry leaders who we talk to, and you can literally ask her questions directly. It's going to be amazing. And then we also will have TA office hours to answer all your questions. We have one in the morning and one in the evening, depending on what fits your schedule. So that should be pretty good. I'm pretty excited about that. So there's going to be two things that you're going to need to get in the next couple days to be ready for this boot camp. One is you're going to need to get Chip's book, AI Engineering. It's going to be one. And then you're also going to need to get a subscription to Cursor. You can go to cursor.com, and that's where you can get the subscription to Cursor. We'll be doing a lesson on Cursor in 2 days. So Cursor is a little bit more important. Our first book club discussion is not on Wednesday. It will be on next Wednesday. So you have a little bit more time to get the book if you want to get like a physical book, or you can get the PDF or whatever. But these are going to be the two big kind of things that you're going to need to be ready for this boot camp. You also there's an OpenAI key. So obviously we're going to be working with OpenAI quite a bit in this boot camp, and the OpenAI API key, I share that, so you do not have to pay OpenAI at all. So total here is like maybe like $50 total between the book and the Cursor, because Cursor has a free trial that you can use if you don't want to pay the $20 a month. So our guest speakers are really amazing. So we have Chip Huen. She is the author of AI Engineering. She's also the author of Designing Machine Learning Systems. They're two of the most best-selling machine learning and AI books like in the world. She also had a company called Claypot AI that got acquired, and she's a very, very successful founder as well. She's also a really good friend of mine. She lives in San Francisco here. We're kind of like neighbors. It's pretty great. And she's going to be speaking, I think, in a couple weeks. And then we have Li Yin. Li Yin is actually speaking tomorrow. She's the very first speaker in the whole bootcamp. So Li Yin is the founder of a company, Sylph AI. Sylph AI just recently got raised over $2 million to build a company called an AI engineer called Ada. So Ada is going to be like your AI engineer companion. You can think of it as almost like, it's kind of like Cursor, but it's like going to be like Cursor for AI engineering. So she's been doing AI and ML stuff since 2014. So she's been doing it way before ChatGPT, way before anything. She's one of the OG AI engineering people. So she has a ton of knowledge, and she's going to be a very, very good guest speaker for tomorrow. She's going to kick it off. And then we have Ryan Brandt. Ryan Brandt is a consultant who builds AI agents for companies, and he makes millions of dollars a year doing this for companies. So he has seen all the problems and all the value and everything. And so he's going to be in week 4. That's when he is going to be speaking. And it's hard to get people in July because everyone's on a vacation, and I'm trying to get a really good stack of speakers. So we still have 2 open slots. We will be getting 2 more people here in the next week or so. So there'll be 2 more amazing speakers as well who will be part of this journey. It should be really, really great. So how do you get the most out of this boot camp? So some of y'all work full-time jobs. Some of y'all are burnt out. Some of y'all have all sorts of different things going on in your life, but you want to learn from me. I would say that there's going to be there's kind of 2 different pieces of this puzzle, right? So we have for all attendees, ask questions, be social. We're here to make friends, right? Remember, like, it's not just about the AI engineering that you learn, but it's also about the friends you make along the way. And like, that's what this bootcamp's all about. We're going to be putting you into groups so we can encourage you guys to actually like socialize and talk, because that's a super important part of this this journey. Attend the lectures and do the homework. And if you are really strapped for time, just attend the lectures and the labs, and you can kind of skip the homework, even though the homework's super important, because like learning by doing is one of the most important things, but it's also very time consuming. And then, build pipelines on the infrastructure we give you. This is actually, I need to update this line. This one's from the data engineering bootcamp. This is going to be like, we're going to be deploying servers, and we're going to have a bunch of different apps and stuff like that. So we're going to be using like fast API and a couple different things, and and use the OpenAI keys that we give you and all that stuff. Try to minimize the cost for you as a student. If you are trying to be a tryhard, if you're trying to give all your effort, which is usually about 10% of you, maybe a little bit less, somewhere between 5 to 10% of you are like, I want to give this all I got and I want to build something amazing. So what I would say is post about your learnings on LinkedIn. Try to post every day, or like at least 3 to 4 days a week. If you post 3 to 4 days a week of your learnings on LinkedIn, that will allow more people and recruiters and hiring managers to see what you're doing on LinkedIn. And if you tag me, the probability that it will go more viral and the probability that you'll get more reach is very good. And because remember, at the end of the day, it's not just about what you know, it's about who you know. And so if you post your learnings, that's totally fine. Keeping in mind that single slides and summaries are totally okay. So like if you want to summarize each lecture and you want to post that as what you learn from each lecture, that is totally okay. I'm a very big fan of learning in public. And then also give your full effort on the Capstone project. So then you have take all 3 boot camps. So you if you want to add in the AE and DE boot camps self-paced, reach out to me or Matali, and we can get you added to those. It does come at an additional cost, but those are going to be there. And to the people who have already done the AE and DE boot camps, I salute you, because you are already 10 weeks deep into this mad experiment. And I'm excited to see where you guys end up at the end of July and early August. So we are going to put you into study groups. Your group will be 3 to 6 students. It's going to be based on your time zone. So like East Coast people will be with East Coast people, West Coast will be with West Coast people, India people will be with India people, et cetera, et cetera. And then make sure to update at your profile. If you are more international, like if you are, we try to match you with the closest time zone. Like if you are like if you're like the one person in India or the one person in Africa or whatever, we might group you with Europe, or we might group you with like just the closest time zone possible. That's part of the algorithm that we do, just so that you can have some people in a group. If you are kind of a straggler, you're the only person in the world from your area of the world. That's not usually as much the case now, because our cohorts are pretty big, but sometimes that still happens, especially like if you're like from an island or something like that. So when you get into a group, you should be this group should be the first people you ask questions to before asking TAs, and definitely before me, keeping in mind that there are hundreds of people in this cohort. So if all of you ask me questions directly, like I will die, because that's just not possible, right? So remember that, right? That like I honestly wish I could answer each and every one of y'all's questions, because that's what is, what I love. I love teaching and helping people understand. But at this point in the journey, I can't do it. And so that's why, like, first you want to ask your group, because your group probably knows the answer. Keeping in mind that usually these boot camps are mostly senior people. A majority of the boot camp is people with 5+ years of experience. So you will be able to ask them first. And then if they don't have the answer, then ask the TAs. We have some amazing TAs I'm going to introduce here in a second. And then if both of those fail, then you're free to ask me a question. You can literally hit me up on Discord and I'll probably respond, but only after you exhaust both of those avenues. Definitely like understand that I can kind of tell if someone is just trying to get a quick answer from me or not. So big thing to remember here is we learn together here at Data Expert, right? We all are here to learn and get better at AI engineering. So I'm excited for that. So use your group, make some friends, get excited. So what's the curricula all about here? So we have our week 1 is going to be our prompt engineering. That's going to be we start prompt engineering tomorrow, and then so there's 2 classes each week. Prompt engineering is going to be prompt engineering day 1 is going to be just prompt engineering theory and prompt auto optimization. So that's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, we will be talking about Cursor and how to improve your productivity with Cursor. You will like Cursor quite a bit. I'm sure that that's going to be something that you will find very appealing. Week 2 is understanding RAG. Is going to be talking a lot about like how to set up Milvus. Milvus is a vector database that we're going to use, and how can you build a retrieval system with Milvus. And we're going to be using Fast API and Milvus together to build out a full stack application. So one of the things to remember about this entire bootcamp is that there's going to be full stack aspects to this bootcamp that you will get better at that as well, because you can't be an AI engineer without being a good full stack engineer. They're just too connected. And so you will become at least a decent full stack engineer by the end of these 5 weeks as well. So we will cover a lot of those things in detail as well. And there should be a couple pre-reads on things like REST and things like HTTP and things like servers and stuff like that. So that like if you are coming from like a pure analytics background or a pure data engineering background, and you don't have exposure to those things, we will hopefully get you there. Hopefully most of y'all already have that experience though. So weeks 1 and 2, I will be teaching. That's going to be prompt engineering and RAG. Weeks 3 and 4 are going to be Ashwani. He is an engineer at NVIDIA. He's been working at NVIDIA for I think 5 or 6 years now. He's one of the most talented engineers I know. And he's going to be teaching advanced RAG and ML ops. So advanced RAG is going to be talking more about like graph. So in week 3, we're going to be working with Neo4j and graph databases. Should be pretty awesome. And then we're going to also be looking at agentic AI and looking at how to create reasoning AI that can make smarter decisions. And then week 4 is where we're going to be talking more about how you can actually build production grade AI applications that don't break when you deploy. And so that should be really awesome. There's going to be 1 day there on CI/CD and LLM as a judge, so that you can actually build evaluation criteria to make sure that your apps are functioning the way you expect. And then the second day is going to be on traceability. So like, because LLM is not as much of a black box as you think. You can actually build out traceability. And there's a thing called LangGraph that you can use to understand like what an LLM is actually doing underneath the hood. And we will be going deep into that, so that you can think of that like LangGraph as kind of like, in SQL, how you can do like explain. You can run an explain query. You can do that with LLM as well. And so that's something that we will be diving deep into in week 4. Hopefully by the end of week 4, you'll be feeling very confident in your abilities to build production grade AI applications. And then week 5, final week, I pick up this last week where we are going to be talking about end-to-end AI applications. So the first class here is on MCP, Model Context Protocol. Think of it as like the REST APIs for AI applications. It's kind of like how you give your AI tools to make it more powerful. And then we'll have a final lecture on how to identify business problems that can be easily solved with AI. It's a very interesting class that will allow you to take all of the knowledge that you learned from the last 4 weeks and apply it in certain places. So that's going to be a really solid place to go. Keeping in mind, all the classes are live. Like we'll be doing live classes and live coding. And but if you miss any class, you can make up any class to get certified. You can either attend it live or watch the recording. It doesn't matter. And the recordings are usually up within 8 hours. Within 8 hours of the class being over, the recordings are usually up. So we that's our commitment, so that we can have you guys be learning as quickly as possible. And so we do all of our live classes on Discord, and we use Discord Stage. Discord Stage is a very powerful tool, because one of the things that Discord Stage gives me is automated time tracking of all of your so when you enter and leave the stage, I know exactly when you did. And it allows for automatic attendance tracking, which makes it a lot easier to get to track like your progress in the bootcamp. And if you miss a class, go to the dashboard, and then you can just go and start watching pre-recorded content. So the schedule here is pretty straightforward. We have this first week is a little bit different, just because I have a very important meeting on Thursday that I have to go to and I can't miss. So week 1, we have today, which is the kickoff that you can kind of see here on the left. And then we will have Tuesday and Wednesday is when we will be doing our classes. And then no class Thursday and Friday. But then for the next 4 weeks after that, I try to keep everything in 3 days. So think of it like this way: 5 to 8 p.m., 3 days a week, right? That is the block that where you can get the most value, right? So we do 5 to 8 on Tuesday. So 5 to 6 is where we have our guest speaker. So this one here, this first guest speaker will be Lee Yin, and then we will have more guest speakers in the coming weeks. And then we have our class 6 to 8 p.m. That will be the main class where we talk like prompt engineering, ML ops, etc. And then day 2, the Wednesday day will be our book club. We'll have the book club discussion from 5 to 6. Should be pretty interesting. This is not required. This is not required for certification. This is a new thing I'm testing out to see like how much value is there. It should be pretty good though. I deeply encourage you guys to read the AI engineering book. It will enhance a lot of your knowledge of this boot camp as we go through it. And then we have our office hour here where you can, if you need extra help, you can get that. And then from 7 to 8, we're doing a career dev session. This is by Mitali Gupta. She is she's been with my company since the beginning, and she's going to teach things like interview prep, resume reviews, branding, all that kind of stuff, how to apply to jobs, different things like that. And then we have our Thursday class. Thursday will be a Q&A. This is so this Q&A is different. So the first week, the Q&A is open. Everyone can go to this Q&A. But then for the next 4 weeks, the Q&A is only available to people who submit the homework. So if you don't submit the homework, you cannot join this Q&A here. So generally speaking, as the bootcamp progresses, this Q&A gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Right, it might start with this first, obviously the one that's open will have like hundreds of people, and then the first week we'll have like 50 people, and then by the end of the boot camp there's usually like 20 people left. So like it really encourages you get a more and more intimate Q&A session with me just by dedicating yourself to the boot camp and outlasting everyone else. So you get more and more value the more value that you put in. Remember that. That's a very important part of how you win with these boot camps. So how do you submit homework? So the homework is going to be published every Thursday, and then you submit homework. You submit your work on dataexpert.io. So you can do it like it'll make sense when you go to the program detail page. When you go to the AI engineering program page, it will be very clear where you submit homework, and then you want to create a zip file of your work and upload the file. And then your grades are pass or fail, used solely for certification. So you have to get at least a C on your projects to do it, but there's also a pass fail. So if it has to be A, B, or C. If you get a D or an F, then obviously we don't pass. Everything is graded almost automatically. The AIs are very good at grading and giving very detailed, amazing feedback. You will be like pretty stunned, and it actually allows you to iterate and understand what you're doing wrong a lot faster. So I highly recommend checking that out. It's a very powerful way to get your feedback and check your understanding a lot faster. So keeping in mind that like the due dates here are going to be based on so the due dates here are going to be based on like when you have the homework Q&A, right? The homework doer only Q&A. So like we want you to submit by then. So your capstone project for AI engineering is going to be a bit different from if you were in the data engineering and analytics engineering programs. It's a little bit different. So you're going to need to have the following areas. You're going to have a front end, quality controls, documentation, and agentic actions. So your AI has to do something. It can't just like summarize stuff. Actually, it's like has to have an MCP. It has to actually have a tool and actually do something. So your capstones will need to have a screenshot of them running in the cloud, because if they're not deployed, it doesn't count. It's not, and localhost doesn't count. And then so your capstone needs to be delivered at the end. Your capstone deliverable at the end of week 2 is a conceptual design of the AI system. So like what you want your agentic AI to be doing, and like what kind of full stack application are you trying to build? And then the due date is the final due date for this is the 17th of August at 11:59 p.m. Pacific. And this is very strict. Don't ask for more time. It annoys me. So just keep this in mind. Very strict. So the bootcamp rewards. So this is something I talked about in the when I kicked off this challenge, but the top 3 individual capstone projects will get their tuition completely refunded. Be a very good thing to do. So this is one way that you can actually learn for free. Just have to make an amazing project, and then you'll learn for free. And then obviously the top 3 community engagers, they get additional discounts on future boot camps. And then they also get a LinkedIn recommendation from me. So I will write you a personal LinkedIn recommendation. And keeping in mind what I mean by top 3 community engagers are it's the most helpful, the most funny, and the highest volume. So those are the 3 categories that we do for community engagement. And so like we really reward people for actually participating in the community and engaging in the Discord and talking and helping people. So and being funny, making it fun, making it interesting, right? So this is gonna be may the best project win here, right? So some of y'all are probably interested about certification, right? So remember, if you miss a lecture, you can make it up by watching videos. And so there's 3 certificates. So you have the attendee certificate, which is you just show up to 90% of the lectures or watch the videos. It's a good certificate. Then you have the excellence, which is the attendee certificate, and then you do 4 of the 5 assignments. And I will give you a LinkedIn shout out and priority in our referral network. Our referral network is coming online in a couple months, so like it's taking some time, but like it should be pretty good. So that will be kind of a longer term value thing that you'll get here. And then the superb certificate is you got to do the excellent certificate and then also deliver a high quality capstone project. And that will give you even more discounts on future boot camps. So like generally speaking, the superb certificate will make it so you can get into another boot camp for like a couple $100. Like so just as a perspective. So refund policy. So refund requests made within 1 week after purchase will incur a 25% fee. Request made within 2 weeks after purchase will incur a 50% fee, and then no refunds after 14 days. So that's going to be the policy that I like. This allows people to feel like they have more skin in the game and encourages them to actually follow through with this commitment and learn from me, because it should be a really, really good time. If you have more questions about that, feel free to reach out to Matali in the Discord. So, this is not just a one-man show. We have a couple different people who actually run this. So we have me. I am going to be a big instructor and the face of the company. We have Matali. Matali's my chief of staff. She runs everything. She does a lot of stuff for the company. Then we have Wesley. Wesley is the front end and back end guy for the dataexpert.io. And then we have Wanwu. Wanwu owns a lot of the data infrastructure for our company as well. And then our instructors this time around, right, are me. And then we have Ashwani Agarwal. So he is going to be he was an engineer, and he's an engineer at NVIDIA. And so he knows more about AI than me in a lot of cases. So should be a really, really good group of instructors this time around. I'm really excited about it. And then, we also have some TAs. So we got Raghu, Rahul, and Sundeep. They know a lot about this stuff, and they will be able to answer a lot of y'all's questions about AI engineering. And they are very responsive, and we have people kind of around the clock here who can help. So these are really good TAs. And yeah, that's essentially what I have for this presentation. I want to open it up for questions so people can we can go through this and see what thing we have anything. Are all the assignments done individually? Yes. Zach, are we not doing any end-to-end capstone project like we did in AE? No, we are. 100%. There's definitely an end-to-end capstone project. Big requirement. That's a big part of it for sure. So let's see here. And, if you guys have any questions, I'm here for about the next 20 minutes. And if you guys are interested in joining, right, like you can still join. You can join with this can get you 20% off. You can use the discount code Last Minute AI. Last Minute AI will get you 20% off. So is there be a schedule of readings for the AI engineering book? Yeah. So it's from 5 to 6, right? How much is the cost of the bootcamp? So with the discount, it's going to be about $2,100. $2,100 is going to be the price for sure. Let's see here. Meditation mind. Thank you for taking the time to educate. Of course, of course, of course. Like, it's great. Your local public libraries may have ebook subscriptions, so you can borrow without buying it. Yeah, I would say that that's a good one, right? How much of AI knowledge is required for this bootcamp? Very little. I would say that this is like, you're really starting from square one here. You mostly need to know Python and a little bit of full stack. If you know, you don't need to even know that much full stack. Like, we'll get you up to speed with full stack as well. Like, there's not that much to learn in terms of full stack, right? So, but like, it's mostly Python, right? Yeah, any coupon, yeah. So you can use last minute AI. This is going to be, if you use this code, last minute AI will get you 20% off. Yeah. Would there be any brainstorming among cohort for capstone project ideas? Yeah, you could definitely do that. Like a lot of students do that, right? Capstone project is also done individually. You can do it in a group. I'm fine with doing it in a group as well. Like you can do it in a group of up to 3. 90% of people do an individual capstone project. Yeah. Regarding schedule of readings, was referring to what chapters to read each week for the boot camp. Yeah, I literally added the book club thing like 10 minutes ago, so I need to freaking actually come up with what will be there, right? How long is the boot camp duration, and how many hours does one need to give a week? So like, it's gonna be what you need. There's 9 hours of like live time from 5 to 8, 3 days a week. 5 to 8, 3 days a week is 9 hours, and then you have freaking probably another 5 hours, 4 to 5 hours for homework, and then and then a little bit more for capstone. So something like 15 hours, 10 to 15 hours is probably what we'd be shooting for. Do you have any course boot camp for complete beginners? No. Yeah, this is going to be a good boot camp though. I'm excited. It should be a really solid time. I mean, we have like I'm excited to teach with Ashwani. I know I feel very bullish about working with him, and I can tell we have a good thing, right? Besides time zone, what else is the study group algorithm considering? Nothing. It's literally just time zone. Like, what else would you want to consider? Like, it's like there's like it's fine, and then it just puts you in. Then it's just kind of random after that. How to get added to the Discord stage? You have to buy the boot camp, and then you join the Discord, and then you'll get a role, and then you'll be in the stage 100%. That's how it works. But yeah, it should be a pretty solid time here. I'm really pumped. If we are in the AI bootcamp, is there a discounted rate for the subscription content of the other bootcamps if we try to do all 3? Reach out to Matali about that. Yeah, we should be able to get you in. Okay, you said algorithm. Yeah, because it's an algorithm. It's a bin packing algorithm, right? It's a bin packing algorithm based on time zone. But you can't, like, the thing is like, if you have a group of 3, you might not get a group of 3, right? Because it might not actually exist. So it is a bin packing algorithm, right? I actually have the code for that. Like, there's like do I have that gist? 1 second. Do I have that? Like, I might actually have that somewhere. Nah, I don't. Okay, well, let's, here, I'm just gonna, okay, let's see here. I'm unemployed. Can I finish the whole course in 4 weeks? Sure. I mean, well, it's live, so the 5th week of content isn't available. So no, actually, I guess, because like you have to wait for that content to be presented. It's not available yet. Like that is so no, you can't finish it in 4 weeks, but you can do it in 5 for sure. How to decide the capstone project? Are there any sessions for that? Like, yeah, like we'll give you some examples, right? Does the AI graded homework allow multiple attempts? Yes. That's the whole point, right? Is that like if you have AI graded homework, it gives you feedback, and then you can try again, and then it'll give you feedback again, and it will let you try again, right? Any comments about the tooling for this bootcamp? Yeah, it's Milvus. Milvus is going to be the vector database, and then we're going to be using Cursor for a lot of the productivity work. And we're going to be working a lot with OpenAI. And obviously, it doesn't really matter if you want to use Claude or something else. You can use that. It's like very, 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 very similar, right? If you want to use a different model, it doesn't matter that much, right? So, and then it's just going to be using the OpenAI prompts, right? And then, yeah, we're going to be doing it kind of like we're trying to do it from the base layer, trying to make it very technical, right? So we can kind of get it right. can we get job after finishing this course? There's a good chance. Yeah. I mean, keeping in mind that this is a beta version of this course, right? This is the very, very first time I'm launching this course. That's why it's a little bit more affordable. And so, yeah, I'd say that would be the way to do it. Do I still have an access to bootcamp if I pay $100 a month for all access sub? You would get access to this in many months, right? Probably at the end of the year, you would get access to this content. And yeah, it should be great. As a bootcamp got me a job, I am bullish to get me a new role as well. Yeah, see, there's people who definitely get new roles, right? It's like I mean, I guess I'm a little bit more hesitant about this content. I think it's right. I really do think it's right because I've consulted with people from NVIDIA and I've been consulted with people from all these different tech companies. And so that would be the way to do it. A full year of Python experience is still a strict requirement. No, if you want to stretch yourself, you can stretch yourself. Like you have to know Python. You have to know some Python, like for sure. Just like I would not say it's like if you feel confident with like loops and importing and installing and setting up a virtual environment and you know how to do those things specifically, then go ahead and I think you will probably be a good candidate for the bootcamp. 1 year is just a guideline because it's at the end of the day, it's like hard to know, right? Like what is the right way to put that in there. But like, yeah, like I would say. So remember, guys, if you want to like join this still, right? There's still time, right? Like we start tomorrow, and it's dataexpert.io/lastminute.ai, and then you can get in, and we can change your life, right? We can get this all rolling and have you guys build an amazing capstone project, and you can join an amazing community. It should be pretty sick. Should be pretty freaking sick. I'm pretty excited about it. Like there should be a lot of different pieces to this puzzle about like where you can learn and where you can grow. And like, yeah. What sort of job title can I look for after joining this bootcamp? AI engineer. Yeah. Is it allowed to use Gen AI in assignments? Of course. That'd be dumb if you couldn't use Gen AI in a Gen AI bootcamp. That'd be really fucking dumb. Like, of course, like you and honestly, there's probably that probably makes it a little bit easier, right? That probably makes it a little bit like like the homework assignments, like that you want to be thinking about, right? So, but yeah, like obviously, like if like you AI is the future, AI is the future, and it's like if I'm like no, you can't, right? It's like freaking ridiculous, right? Because I literally the second day of class is like us teaching you how to use Gen AI to do development, right? We're gonna literally set up a full stack application in like 10 minutes with Gen AI, right? It's gonna be sick, right? That's gonna be one of the things that I think will be really, really good, right? Can I transition to an AI role after this bootcamp? I'm a data analyst right now. What role specifically? I would say, yeah, AI engineer. AI engineer is a big role. That would be a really solid. This would give you a lot of foundations to be ready for that for sure. Like, would it be absolutely everything that you need to be an AI engineer? Maybe, right? I don't know, because like if you're a data analyst, you probably need a little bit more software engineering skills also to be a full-time AI engineer. I can't just transition you in 5 weeks, but this would give you a good start. For Python, besides what other key concepts of Python we should brush up on? HTTP, REST, get, put, post, delete options. I would say those are big ones. Fast API, if you want to learn Fast API, that's another really cool project. I would say that's importing and pip install and importing, I'd say, are going to be the big ones, right? Yeah. Do you use Cursor ID on this bootcamp? Yes, we do. 100%. That's literally the second day of class. Like we talk all about everything that you need to know to be good at Cursor. Just that one class is going to make it worth the $2,000. I promise. Like, because you will freaking become so much more powerful, like just from like learning how to use Cursor more effectively and like how to get your team set up with Cursor. You would be like so surprised at how far that would go, right? If you add this to the subscription model in the end of the year, will you still provide OpenAI keys? No. Like you have, because the subscription is dirt cheap, dude. Like, no, like you can get your own OpenAI key and you can pay the $10. I am a data engineer. Are you seeing a good number of hybrid roles that need both skill sets, or is it still pretty siloed? Yeah, there's going to be, there's a lot of data engineering roles out there that need more of this vector database stuff and more of this like data pipeline and context management and building RAG models. If you're a data engineer that can learn how to build RAG, That is really, really powerful. That's why 40% of this bootcamp is there, right? Is this bootcamp content available for lifetime? Yes. Also, if there is a plan to upgrade the content, will it be available for the people who registered? Uh, that's a great question. I don't know if the content will be. I don't know if there's a plan to upgrade the content. So I like that. It really depends on how successful it is. I don't like. This is a beta, right? I'm testing things out. So, but you do get lifetime access to the content for sure. Yeah, that's the So this is the like see it's like lifetime access to the content, five guest speakers from five guest speaker sessions from industry experts, join a highly motivated community, 1 year open access, build a capstone project to land a job, and then it will go over like each of the you'll see like you can see exactly what is here, right? These are the exact freaking classes and metrics and everything that like of like what we're actually teaching and what homework assignments you can expect. So yeah, it should be pretty dope. Like it should be a really, really good time. So definitely, if you are interested in joining, right, you can get 20% off still here with this dataexpert.io/last minute AI. I can get you a solid way to go there as well. So definitely it should be really solid, like we're going to be teaching all sorts of stuff here, right? Because I mean, just if you look at this curricula, right, so we have like prompt engineering theory. That's gonna be our first day. And we have like auto prompt optimization, which is a really, really powerful lab. And then we have cursor and windsurf. We're gonna mostly be working with cursor here. And then we have vibe coding full stack application in 45 minutes. That's gonna be a really fun lab. That's on Wednesday. And then we set up Milvis for week 2. And then we're going to be doing RAG fundamentals and then vectorizing inputs into Milvis, and then talking about RAG trade-offs, like the difference between like minimizing hallucination and talking about like, but then if you give it more tokens, it can be more expensive. It's a bunch of interesting trades to think about. Then we go into advanced RAG. This is where Ashwani is going to start teaching. We'll set up a graph database with Neo4j, and then we'll talk about graph RAG versus vector RAG, when to use which. And then we'll be talking about graph RAG in production, actually build a graph RAG in production. And then we'll talk more about the different types of agents, right? So there's like reflection, plan and execute, and rewoo. Those are like the 3 major types of agents that are out there. Those are like the 3 different like paths that agents kind of follow. And then you have like actually making a RAG better with agentic AI. And we have ML ops, where we're going to be talking about evaluation metrics and guardrails, making your machine learning models actually better, setting up CI/CD for an AI application. Then we have like LLM reasoning and traceability. So this is where we can actually understand like what an LLM is thinking and thinking through its chain of thought. And then we'll actually use LangChain and LangSmith to actually figure that out. And then last week is where we actually do something end to end. And this is where we're going to have our MCP. And then also this last one is really great, where we have how to link your agent to value. And then we'll talk about the difference between building an asynchronous versus a synchronous agent. So it should be pretty great. That's good. So yeah, I have about 10 more minutes here where I can answer anyone's other questions that they might have. We are literally kicking off today. It should be pretty solid. You can use that coupon code there at dataexpert.io/last minute AI. And that can be a really solid way to join. And it's gonna be a really great time. We have hundreds of people who are joining this bootcamp, and it's gonna be like really solid. We're gonna like have everyone in here. That conversation with Chip is gonna be so good because she's just so knowledgeable about AI, and we'll be able to like have a really deep kind of conversation with her to understand like what is going on and how does this work, right? So yeah, it should be really, really good. It should be a really, really solid boot camp, and like there's going to be so much, right? And by the end of this, I would imagine that you would feel very confident, right? Because we are going to be building a capstone project to land a job. So like how that works is like at the end of week 2, you need to submit your capstone project proposal, and then at the end of week 5 is when you should submit your capstone project. So like that's going to be the way that works. When does the content populate in our dashboards? Well, it needs to be live, right? So this content doesn't exist, right? This is a beta bootcamp, right? This is literally V1. So we that is going to be like done week every week the content will be populated, right? Like on the schedule. So tomorrow and Wednesday is when we will be doing our live classes. And then they'll also be filming the classes in the dashboards. So that's how it works, right? And we do not do any pre-recorded content in this bootcamp. So that's going to be the way it works. Can you show us some job roles that are out there that match this bootcamp to understand what kind of roles are suited for this? Yeah, it's AI engineer. AI engineer is the big one, right? There's going to be tons of AI engineer like roles that like, sure, let's go. Let's do it. AI engineer, fine. Let's go to jobs, right? Jobs, sure. Okay, here, let's just go very first job here. Okay, what do we have we have the job description here? Oh, that's a terrible job description. Do we have a let's go here. What about this AI prompt engineer here? Okay, so experience AI chat systems, fluency in English. That one's terrible. What about this one? Generative AI engineer is probably good here. This one, those are $130 an hour. That's pretty good. So let's just like kind of go through like the pieces of this that are okay, what you'll do. So build scalable multi-model chat and data extraction systems across vendors. So we are going to be doing definitely some data extraction systems. We're not going to be doing as much multimodal, but develop full stack applications using Python. We're definitely going to be doing that. And AI first development tools like Cursor, right? Integrate LLM APIs, including GPT-4 and development models, and using generative AI frameworks like LangChain and vector databases. That is literally what we're doing in the bootcamp. Right? Implement RAG architecture and vector databases to support retrieval augmented systems. That's literally freaking 2 weeks of the bootcamp is that, right? And then employ Docker containerized development and produce JS-based front ends via React Next on AI-driven apps. So we aren't doing as much JavaScript in this bootcamp because that's like kind of a little bit too much, but like we will be definitely using some Docker and some CI/CD development processes so we can test some things, right? So you'll notice like, oh yeah, I'm familiarity with graph or database-backed RAG integrations, right? So we are going to be doing that, right, as well. Experience in the RAG architecture, so we have that hands-on generative AI framework. So this job pays $130 an hour. Okay, right. I mean, proven track record of integrating LLM APIs. Yeah, if you have a good full stack application, then you're going to be there, right? So this is just I just pulled up one random freaking role here. Like they're gonna all kind of fit this for the most part, right? Where they're gonna have a lot of this like AI agent framework, strong under. See, then here's RAG again, right? And so yeah, if you just look up AI engineer, and you'll see 250K, right? So I mean, at the end of the day, right? That's gonna be the way that works, right? So how does the book reading sessions work? We're gonna have it's gonna be a discussion where I will kind of lead a discussion and we'll talk through a week and we will do that, right? For labs, are we expected to duplicate what is being demonstrated, or is it mainly watching and apply it in the homework? Mainly watching and apply in the homework. You can duplicate it if you want, if you really want to solidify it, because you can think of the lab as one homework and then the homework as a separate one. But you can just watch the lab and then do it that way. It all depends on like what your goals are. But yeah, you aren't going to be expected to like actually duplicate what's demonstrated in the lab. You can though. That's actually, I would like, if you're looking to deeply learn, I would definitely recommend doing that for sure. This course is great. If we already finished DE bootcamp and now we are taking AI bootcamp, can we build an end-to-end use case with DE and AI agent pipeline by end of this course? Yes. Right. 100%. 100%. Do you have a Python basis course that teaches the necessary aspects of Python required for this bootcamp? No, I don't. I don't teach fundamentals. I don't teach like, here is how to write a print statement. I don't do that. Like as I am all about teaching people who already have a couple years of experience. That's like my my main goal is that, right? So that would be the way to do it, right? All right, I am sold now. Amazing, thank you, Harsha. Like, I'm trying, man. I'm like, I telling you, like, I spent a lot of time thinking about the curricula here and trying to figure out like what is the right way to do things, right? So if you want to see, we have like last minute AI, right? So if you want to join, remember you can get 20% off here by going to dataexpert.io/last minute AI. I'll get you you can get 20% off the bootcamp And like, I'm excited. Like, you'll notice like we can just go through and they're all going to be the same, right? Because the AI engineering space is actually not as complicated as you think, right? It's like you just need to know a couple different pieces, right? There was one piece in here that I actually removed because I just didn't see it in enough job postings, which is fine tuning open source models. That was the one thing that I actually removed. That was originally in the curricula that I removed because it's just not in enough roles. It's not in enough roles, and I'm trying to create more job ready engineers. So instead, we decided to go much deeper in RAG and do like graph RAG as well, right? So how many hours and how many weeks will we need to invest so I can plan to finish this AI bootcamp and also finish reading the 2 books? It's one book. It's AI engineering is one book, but like it's going to be 10 to 15 hours a week probably. But then like reading the book, right? You're going to need to like go through that, right? And that's probably going to be another couple hours. I don't know, like 10 to 15 is probably, so it's like 6 hours of like, so it's 4 hours of required content, right? 2 hours of content I highly recommend, the Q&A with me and the speaker session. I highly recommend those 2 hours. And then there's the book reading session, right? And then you have the office hours you only need if you need them. And then the career dev session you only need if you need it. So like really it's 6 hours of like really, really, really important content. And then there's 3 hours of content if you need it. And then on top of that, you have the homework and capstone project, which is going to probably be another 5 to 10 hours a week. So like it all depends on like how much effort you're trying to put into this. People, like a lot of people, they get a lot of value out of just doing what did I say? Just doing the lectures. Some people do lecture and homework. Some people do all of it, right? So that was good, right? AI engineering book. Are we expected to buy it, or is this provided as part of the AI bootcamp? You are expected to buy it. Yep, 100%. I am not. It's like $30, man. Like, where do we go after attending this bootcamp? What paths do you suggest to get better in AI for someone who is a beginner at AI? So, like, if you are beginning, right, like you'll notice a lot of these roles. If you look at these AI engineering roles, like this AI engineer role, they're gonna all be like AI, but then they're also gonna be full stack, right? I had a very viral post about this where AI engineers are just spicy full stack engineers. That's like, and it did like 2 million views on LinkedIn. And so like at the end of the day, like what I would recommend is you upskill your you can upskill your abilities in full stack engineering so that you can make better products and better stuff like that. And then that would make it so you could definitely 100% get into one of these roles. Like I actually have another boot camp that would be of interest. So I actually have one called Full Stack Expert. So there's fullstackexpert.io. That's where like if you want to get good at JavaScript, and JavaScript is going to be the way that you can kind of like really kind of send all of this as well. You can do it in Python or JavaScript, right? They both work pretty well, but like at the end of the day, that would be the way to do it, right? Would we be dealing with only language models, or do we have sprinkles of multi-models included? This is it's gonna be LLM for the most part. There's not like, yeah, like I would love it if people do more, like if you guys add multimodal into your capstone projects. I think it's not that hard to add multimodal. It really isn't, like to add an upload, because all you got to do is like, yeah, it's really not that hard, right? To add multimodal, but like we will be touching on it in the lectures, but there's not going to be that much covered in the labs. Is the task difficulty is on the same caliber of the DE Community Edition homework, or even harder? It's not harder. Like, I mean, like this is, you got to understand, like freaking, this is newer content, right? Like I'm not going to make it harder, right? Like it's going to be the same, right? I don't try to make things so soul crushing that people like freaking feel like it's going to be, the DE Community Edition homework is harder, dude. I mean, the DE Community Edition homework is freaking difficult. It's a difficult thing, right? So like I would say that like that'd be the thing. What are the prerequisites I can learn to revise this week to be successful in this bootcamp? You just make sure that you are good at fast API and REST so REST fundamentals, fast API, Python. That's going to be the big things that like I think are going to trip a lot of people up. And then the AI pieces, don't worry about. The AI pieces I will cover, and you will be very successful. I think the REST and full stack stuff is the one thing that like is going to trip some people up, and is probably going to hurt my reviews, because some people don't want to learn that. But you have to learn that if you want to be an AI engineer. You have to. It's just the part of like how the internet works. HTTP, you can't build an AI app without HTTP, because you just need it for the internet, right? So I mean, at the end of the day, that's just how it works, right? So, but yeah, like if you guys are interested in joining, I would say definitely take me up on this. This coupon code is only valid, and sales are only valid till the end of tonight. So you got to buy today if you want to join. No, we are not adding people like super late. So this is where you can join. Last minute AI, get 20% off. Should be really, really sick. But let's see here. Can students join this bootcamp? If you have if you have Python experience, like if you understand, like if you've worked with Python before, then yeah, I would say that you're a good fit, 100%. Like I would say that would be the way that I would think about it. I'm based out of India. I don't see any lucrative roles as a engineer. Most offer $10 to $30 an hour. I'm already doing better US jobs. You showed some are remote, but requires to be with a particular time zone. How can we tackle this move to America? I don't know. We need to buy a book as part of this course. Yes, it's freaking $30 or $40, or you can get the PDF. Just Google it, man. Like, I'm sure you can find it for free if you want to find it for free. I would love it if you support my friend Chip, though. I would love that. Like, that would be amazing. Has the advent of Gen AI created any new areas of work for data engineers? Yes. Right. So, like, can you give details about that? You can figure that out yourself, bro. If you can't figure that out yourself, I'm sorry. So yeah, Gen AI is making it so that you can create RAG models, right? And RAG is the most important thing, right? That's going to be the biggest, most important thing that you need to learn as a data engineer, because data engineers will be able to supply context to AI, and that will allow AI to make smarter decisions where they don't hallucinate as much, right? And that is really what data engineering is all about, right? Is making it so that we make better decisions and we have less bad decisions, right? That's literally what we like. I think of data engineering as like being a truth wizard, right? Where it's like, if you knew the truth, you would make the right decision, right? And so if you make the right decision, great. Right. And so like that would be the way I would be thinking about it. Right. And so, yeah, that's going to be the like, and data engineering is going to keep going up. Right. It's going to be like, it is going to the moon, dude. Like data engineering is not anywhere close from being like dead or anything like that. It's on the opposite. It's going to keep getting bigger and better. Right. Because the way I think about it is like you have AI engineers who consume a lot of this context and they build the prompts around the context. And then you have the people who build the context. And the people who build the context are going to be the data engineers, the people who actually like vectorize and consume and build the pipelines around the context. And those are going to be the two kind of roles that I see in the future. One of them is going to be more of like a back-end AI engineer, which is going to be closer to data engineer. And you have more of a front-end AI engineer who's going to be more of like a full-stack engineer with some AI prompting skills. So this bootcamp is going to be covering a little bit more of the latter bucket, but it will kind of be doing both, right? Been building web services in Django, Fast API, GraphQL, and Nest for close to a decade. Nice to see that some of these skills will come in handy. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. I'm super pumped. That like these skills will be great. Yeah, like Fast API is going to be super good for this bootcamp. So I highly recommend that that people do that, right? Build the context, meaning fully on-prem models or models running on the cloud. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day, like, I mean, most companies, like it depends on like how private your freaking company is, right? About how much you want to like not give your data to OpenAI, right? That's really what matters the most here, is like how much data you want to actually submit to OpenAI or submit to Claude or Anthropic or whatever. And so it's like, if you are a very privacy focused company, then use a fully on-prem model, like go and download Llama or download freaking like any of those other DeepSeek or Llama, and then just do it all on-prem. But the context is just the prompt around it, right? So it's what is the, like, if I'm asking a question like what was revenue last quarter, right? Then it's like, how do I like do like, and you can do all of this privately, right? Where you can do like what was revenue last quarter, and then you can build the prompt around that, and then you can suck in all of the relevant context based on like a vector search, and then that allows you to pull in that data, and then that would allow you to then pump that to an LLM to like, and you just give it all that context, right? And so that's not like, it doesn't matter if it's on-prem or in the cloud. It doesn't matter, right? That's like a lot of that is like that's an implementation detail that doesn't matter, right? Where it's like you can do it either way. And the only big difference between those is how privacy focused your company is. So if you're a very privacy focused company, use an on-prem model, which will have its own kind of like serving endpoint, versus like if you are a less privacy focused company, use a service, use Claude, use. And like, and at the end of the day, OpenAI even says like if you use the Python APIs, they don't record your chat. They don't like they don't write it down. It's not in the terms of service to like actually do that, right? So, is your bootcamp and a solid capstone enough to land a good job for fresh graduates? It depends on what your other credentials are. If you have a computer science degree, I would say yes. If you don't have a computer science degree, I think it's still a difficult job market. But like I would say if you have a good computer science degree or another technical degree like math or physics or whatever, then and you do that, and then you do this boot camp, and then you have a capstone project, and that, I would say that yeah, you would probably be able to land a pretty good job. Like what, like you saw, like there's like what there was one here, right? Where was that? There was an entry level one, right? There's this one, this AI new grad entry level. So I think this one right here would be a very solid you'd be a good fit for this role here. So I would say yeah, for sure. Like that's going to be definitely a possibility, right? Because it's like everything I'm teaching here is going to be just like very relevant. It's all very, very relevant, right? And like that's the whole goal, right? Is to teach you guys the most relevant skills possible. And yeah. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for showing up today. This has been an amazing presentation. I want to just give you guys one more nudge here. So you can go to dataexpert.io/lastminuteai and you can get 20% off this AI engineering bootcamp, and you can join me. You can join me in this process of becoming an AI engineer. Classes start tomorrow. We're going to be talking with Lee Yin tomorrow. Like you see, like let's just check out Lee Yin's profile real quick. So we go there. 1 second. So this is Lee Yin, right? So she's the founder and author of Addleflow. Addleflow is a really awesome AI engineering library. And so she recently raised $2 million for her company. And she's building out the ADA. It's going to be the AI ML engineer without the 1 million salary. So it's going to be pretty great. She has a very, very deep knowledge of AI engineering. I've been working with her for about the last 3 years now. So, and she's going to be very good. Very good start, right? So, anyways, thank you guys so much. I hope you have a fantastic Monday. It was a very good launch here, and I hope you guys can join me tomorrow and take me up on this challenge. And it's going to be an amazing 5 weeks. So, thank you guys so much, and I hope y'all have a fantastic Monday.